Hello and welcome to the Cyber Weekly. Currently, the Cyber Weekly is on the road to make it to 1,000 subscribers. So be sure to subscribe to the show, follow, like, and share with family and friends. Today, we welcome Ken Fishkin. Ken Fishkin is a seasoned professional, and he will literally tell us a little bit about himself. And this topic is going to be geared towards mostly chapter relationships. So, Ken, who is Ken? If someone is meeting you along the way, who are you?
Well, first of all, I am a father of a 24-year-old daughter, a lovely wife. I've been married for over 25 years, and I did a lot of consulting work for most of my career, over 20 years. And the last 6 years of that now, of my career now, has been working at a law firm, being the sole person responsible for security for them. It's a national law firm.
That's
And
him.
for the last 5 years, during COVID, I got to be a president of ISC2 New Jersey chapter. And it slowly became a second job for me. And we grew the chapter from 30 people to over 730 people. And it's been a crazy ride, and we have a lot of fun and a lot of hard work, and it's changed my life forever now to help the community out. So
That's really impressive. From 30 to 700. That's I have no words to express how that's really impressive how you've been able to build that. So what motivated you to actually grow it to that? What motivated you to join the chapter even in the first place?
I joined the chapter because I was so busy with work most of my career as a consultant that I didn't really have time to meet any peers. And I was just coming home late, being with my family. And I realized that I was missing something in my career, and that was having a network of people that I could rely on. So I started going to some ISC2 events to meet people. And that's how it started.
Yeah. Now, after that, so how did you end up climbing the ladders to actually being the president of the New Jersey chapter? And how was your journey like? So,
My journey was very quick, to be honest, because COVID happened, and the president wanted to step down, and the rest of the board wanted to step down, and they asked me, and I wasn't even on the board or anything. I just was friendly with the people. They said, "Do you want to take it over?" And I never, did anything like this before. Like I said, I went to a few meetings. Uh, they knew I can speak because I was a consultant, so I did some talks for them and stuff like that. I organized a panel for a conference for them. So I said it took me a while to come to yes, but I finally said, all right, I'm home doing nothing like everybody else. Might as well do something productive. And so that's how I finally agreed to do it.
okay, that's that's a well spent COVID period, I guess.
Well, everybody was binge watching shows all the
Yeah,
time.
that is well spent. So, but your relationship with the ISC2 doesn't really start there because you did their paper in the early years. That is 2005, where you did your CISSP.
Yeah.
Um, Looking back, how challenging was it compared to the other certificates you did?
For me, it wasn't that hard. And it was because I had the technical background. learning at the time, things have changed, but at the time, the technical aspects of the exam weren't too hard for me to grasp. It was more of the learning the management style questions that were broached to me. So I had to just learn how to think that way. And so I took a boot camp, a 4 or 5 day boot camp, I forget, and studied for a month or so. And at that time, it was a crazy test. It was a 6 hour test, and it was a pencil and paper. And I was done within 2 hours, and I got very nervous that because I was one of the first people to be done. And I went over everything twice, but yeah, yeah, I passed. It was nice. It was kind of crazy though because I wasn't doing any security work with my job really, except for setting up firewalls and things like that. So I wasn't using the certificate. That was one of the challenges I had. I was even thinking about not renewing it at some point because I wasn't doing security too much. And then in 2014, that all changed. I we developed a cybersecurity practice where I was, and soon after I became director of that practice. So then I started using the skills that I learned.
Okay, that is like a very big gestation period for something to come to fruition. But uh, but later on, you've talked of 2014. What about 2017, where you started to do this healthcare information security and privacy practitioner certificate, that one of ISC2 and the certified cloud security professional, same
Well,
year. What
yeah,
what
so
what were you thinking around that time?
I uh, I had a lot of clients that were in the healthcare industry. I had clients that were migrating to the cloud, and I started to really get into taking certificates. I've always taken certificates my whole career, and I just saw that they always taught me something. I only took certificates when it was applicable to work, and those are the two things that I really felt like I needed to have under my belt in order to be able to talk the talk and understand the basic concepts in those particular areas. So they were very helpful. Both of those were very helpful to me.
Yeah, I've had a number of guests, and they always say that certificates is like showing that you actually know what you're talking about. It's like a proof that people can easily say that okay, this is actually a benchmark for what you actually know. Is that the case for you?
No, I think of it's the other way. To me, it's a stepping stone to learn things. For me, it's like entry level. Because I learn the topic, but I'm learning it as a class as opposed to me having 5 years experience or something like that and then taking the test. It's like, okay, I want to learn about cloud security, so I study for that test, but that doesn't make me an expert. That's just the beginning of my journey. So these tests are really just the beginning of my journey. These are, like I said, get me to talk the language, understand concepts, but real world experience, there's no substitute.
Okay, that brings more clarity. So it's more of like a way of understanding the things before diving deep into it.
Yeah,
Have I got you right?
because yeah, I mean the CISSP, for example, they talk about concepts that you're never going to see. Some of them for various reasons, depending on your job, and so they give you a nice breath. It's an overview of managing cybersecurity, and so some of those things you will see, some of the things you won't see, but it's not showing that you have 5 years experience in cyber. That's for sure. It's really just to make sure that you understand it.
The
So
lingo of the
that's why
language.
they want you to have the 5 years experience in order to get the certification, because they know that.
Yeah, that's a very valid point. I had not thought about that bit of it. Yeah. So, how did the concept of the chapter newsletter come about? Because I've seen your newsletter and I was like, okay, that's interesting because I've not seen that in other chapters. So, how did you come up with that idea?
So my father actually he got me that told me about that idea because he used to run a chapter when he was about my age on Apple computers. And so he started an organization, uh, in his town. And he was like, the newsletter was really a great thing. And I was like, no, you're crazy. Nobody does newsletters anymore. That's a very old way of doing things. And so I tried it out. I mentioned it to a couple of people. They said they were willing to help me set it up. And the next thing I know is that people fell in love with it. They were just like, "Oh, wow, this is the best newsletter I've ever seen." And people wanted to write articles for it. And we were posting all our events, posting programs about it. People started sending us that I didn't even know, asking if we can put it in the newsletter and stuff like that. And it grew from there. So now we do it on a monthly basis. It takes us a week or two to put together because it's a very time consuming and manual process. And but we really see it as a marketing tool and a way for people to know exactly what's going on with the chapter.
Yeah, I would literally attest to that because definitely if you put your events there and all that, people can easily, go to that place, that one source and get the information. But also you as the leader, what are those some key lessons that you have learned along the way leading a chapter? Especially from a COVID situation. I don't know, how do you start?
So I learned that people want community, that it's a big thing, and that people want to meet people in person also. There's a lot of people that still want to just do things remotely because they're lazy. They just don't want, they just I don't know, they lost some of their social skills and they just want to stay home. Unfortunately, that seems to be the case as well. So we're trying to be accommodating to both groups of people. So we have a lot of in-person events now, and a lot of times we do hybrid events or virtual only events to make sure they're included as well. And we've also expanded the chapter beyond New Jersey. So we have people from all different states, even from uh, different countries, and somebody from Austria, somebody from Africa. We have a couple of people from Africa, Europe, South America. So it's really taken off more than I ever would have imagined.
That's really impressive because usually you'd expect people only within the state, but if you have expanded it beyond that, that's really impressive. Now, when it comes to the community service day, I saw you talking about it a lot. And what are those the things that you say that would make it a good community day, and what level of impact would you want during this community service day?
So we try different things every year to make it a little more varied. One of the main things that we do is we donate our time and we give money also to our local community food bank. And they really need the money right now, especially during times where they may or may not get federal funding. So we have to make sure that we do what we can, and we have the ability to do both. So we do that, and then we ran into another nonprofit this year that needed people to clean up an area, a natural area. There was a lot of debris there, so they have an annual cleanup. So we had people attend that. Unfortunately, it was pouring rain the day that we were supposed to do the cleanup, so only a few people were able to attend that. It even snowed a little bit, and that was in April. So It was, for us, that was very unusual. So, but we'll do it again. That would be one of our things that we do on a regular basis. But we're starting to meet more and more nonprofit organizations, and we'll see where it goes from there.
Yeah, I think it's also that's very key in terms of engaging the community and finding their needs. And I think it also helps also build the culture of ISC2 not being more than just a chapter, but also a community, part of the community. When it comes to students, there is definitely so many students, and it's usually they talk of cybersecurity being so technical or less technical. People don't know exactly what usually goes on in cybersecurity. How do you usually engage these students, and what are the things which work for you and what hasn't worked in terms of engaging students?
Students are a challenge. I will definitely say that. But we have a lot of students now who are members of our chapter. We have about 150 from all over. And we even have a student internship program that we started last month. So we're really excited about that. And the issue that we find is that the students are more geared toward passing their classes, of course, and not realizing the benefit of networking. And as a result, they're not very active with our chapter. And they sign up, but when it comes time to get to know the professionals or learn from them, we have a mentoring program. We have a lot of things for students to take advantage of, but they just don't appreciate, because they're young, the importance of making those connections. They just think that they're going to get good grades and everything's going to come to them when they're out of school. And we all know, especially with this market right now, that it's not going to be the case. And so I
Yeah.
try very hard, we all try very hard to work with the students, but their priorities are different. And that's, so it's a work in progress. We're going to schools now. We're starting to give talks to them. We're participating in their hackathons. So it's just I'm going to be an adjunct professor for one of the schools soon. So we'll see how it goes. But that's really a mission of ours, is to get students much more involved with what we're doing.
Yeah, it's usually challenging, especially for students, because there's always that mindset of just, get the grades and continue, but the aspect of community is lacking, especially with young people compared to the older ones. What advice would you give someone early in the profession who is seeking to join a chapter that is now even either a student or someone who is joining the profession? What are those things that you would advise them to do when they join a chapter?
Well, we have, to help them out, we have once a month, we have a welcome meeting. So this way they learn about all the different activities and programs that we offer. So you're not just thrown in and say, okay, do whatever you want. So we have like an onboarding process to educate them on, what our chapter has to offer. And so they don't feel like intimidated by everything, or and it's hard also because our monthly meetings are all virtual. So you really can't meet people, obviously, that way. But we have a ton of social events, and that's really where people get to meet people. We've seen people offer people jobs during these events. It's really wild what comes out of these social events, because you get to know the people and you get to know their personalities. We also have a lot of committees also. In order to do these activities, we have a picnic committee, we have a conference committee, newsletter committee. We have about 12 different committees right now. So these are all ways to get to meet other people so they can see the type of person you are, how responsible you are, what your skill sets are. So it's kind of a unique way of doing it without having to work with them directly in a normal job setting.
That's interesting. But now I'm looking at events. If you're planning your calendar for ISC2, how do you usually set up your events? And in terms of a month, how do they look like? Like, let's say this month.
So this month, we are having a picnic. It's a free picnic. You can bring your family. It's on a Saturday. So this way, no excuses. You can't say, oh, I have a family event. So we usually
That's
have
one
about 100
interesting way of
people
getting people.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And we also have this big pavilion, a big building that's open. So if it rains, everybody's okay. So rain or shine is the picnic. And again, no excuses. And we have it catered, so you don't have to bring food or anything like that. It's all taken care of. All you have to do is talk, and it works really well. We have some
Sounds like,
games and stuff like that, but we really try to take away a lot of the barriers for people to not have to worry about anything. And we do that
yeah,
twice a year.
sounds like what, as you said, risk mitigation. So we look for all possible
And
situations that would.
yeah, we started that tradition. We've been doing it for 4 years now,
Mm,
and we started that because of COVID. We needed an activity where it was safe for people to socialize and interact with people. So and the picnics aren't expensive, and so it's a nice little lower cost way of doing things.
So what about the ones which are now mm, leaning towards the cost level? How are they usually set up?
So the ones that are more expensive, we have sponsors. So because I promote a lot on LinkedIn, the sponsors notice that a lot of people are attending our events. So they want to sponsor us. So when we have 50 people or 100 people, at these things that are all security professionals, it would be great for them to get a captive audience to talk to them. So we have sponsors all the time now reaching out to us. I don't have to go reach out to sponsors anymore. They come to us and want to work with us. So we, like for example, we have our conference coming up in June, and we have over 10 sponsors now helping us out with, financially. So we even got this year, we got Dell and IBM to sponsor our conference. So
Really doing a good job with the with the
a
chapter.
lot of hard work from everybody.
Yeah,
So we
it's
have
a lot of
so volunteering is really the key on how we grew this thing, because the more invested they are with helping the organization out, the more they're going to attend those meetings. If you're just going to the monthly meetings that are remote, you're really not getting much out of it. You're getting some education, but you're not really meeting anybody, and that's not the intention of the program. So being involved in various different ways. We teach the elderly about cybersecurity risks. We go around doing that. We have a public speaking workshop, so you learn how to communicate in a public setting. We are having a writing workshop program soon, so you can write articles and newsletters and things like that. Just all different things that can improve your career that don't necessarily revolve around cybersecurity, but your career in general. So soft skills, I'll say. So we
yeah.
even have a podcast, just like yourself. We just started last year with a podcast, and we have like 10 people running that podcast. It's crazy.
It's amazing. It's like everyone is coming up with their own ideas, and it's like you've created that platform where everyone can you know, spread their wings
Yeah.
in their different strengths and weaknesses. So yeah, that's really impressive. If someone is this chapter has really grown, and I would like to know what are those key ingredients that you find that have really worked? Like you'll be like, this has been very key in terms of this move. Has it been communication? Has it been a soft skill, or has it been what has it been really?
Giving people autonomy to do stuff, that's a big one. Like, like podcasting, that group runs without me practically. They're setting it up, they're making the interviews, they're doing the whole thing themselves. They're coming up with the promotional material. I helped them in the beginning, I got involved, and now I'm stepping away, and they're just keep expanding it. And we're going to have live podcasting at our conference now, and doing all these cool things. Somebody donated a lot of their equipment for the conference. They have these great microphones and headsets and stuff like that. So it's really it's wonderful to see. I have no idea where this is going, and the sky is the limit. We won best chapter back for North America twice in 2022 and in 2024 with ISC2, and we really don't know what's going to happen next, but we're all getting more and more involved with ISC2. We're getting more involved with the community, getting more involved with schools, and Scott, yeah, it's wonderful to see.
Yes, that's really impeccable. Now, unfortunately, we are supposed to conclude. So, what are your what are your parting shots for our audience?
Parting words for your audience would be to get involved. Find an organization that can help you grow professionally. It doesn't necessarily have to be with cybersecurity, but if there is no organization, you can build one from scratch. You just need a few friends who are as committed as you, and you can have it with 4 or 5 people to start off with, and figure out, what tools you have that you can use. There's a lot of free tools out there that you can take advantage of. You can make a newsletter for free. Zoom is free. There's a lot of things that you could look at and take advantage of and be creative. You don't have to spend a lot of money to have an organization, especially in the beginning where you're not raising money and stuff like that. And if you do want sponsors and you don't have a formal organization, just get the sponsors to flip the bill, pay for the bill for the food or something like that. So it's not like the money's going through you. They're just paying for they're just paying the bill directly. That's what we do for all our events. We don't see the bills. The vendor just takes care of them. So it's not like we have money flowing within our organization dealing with this at all. We don't have contracts that we have them sign. It's all very to the point. They just pay for the events. So that's one way that you can get people to pay for it if you don't have a formal government nonprofit organization.
That's interesting. I'd never thought of that idea. That concept of, let them just pay for their thing, you just go and attend. And yeah, that's surprising it works. I'm also surprised it actually works.
It works well. Works well.
Okay. Otherwise, thank you for coming on the show. It's been really insightful to actually have you on the show. I'm even losing my words slowly by slowly. Seems maybe it's time for me to sleep. I don't know. But But anyway, thank you for being on the show. I've really learned a
No,
lot.
thank you. This is a pleasure, and I'm honored to be on it. And I want to see you really succeed. And it was really nice meeting you. And
It's
I
nice
wish you the
meeting you.
best of luck.
Nice meeting you. For our audience, please be sure to. Is there anywhere they can find you, by the way?
Oh yeah, sure. So our website, if you want to put in the notes, is ISC2 chapternj.org, and I'm on LinkedIn. I'm very accessible. Just look up Ken Fishkin, Fishkin, and those are the best ways to get in touch with me.
Yeah, we'll include that in the show notes. The ISC2. I mean, as I said, my words are losing. But ISC2 chapter, the links which I'll include into the show notes. Other than that, please be sure to subscribe to the show. Yeah, we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. So yeah, we'll be bringing to you more interesting guests like Ken Fishkin and more. So support the show, comment, like, subscribe. Go and be a member of ISC2 chapter from wherever you are. And also the New Jersey one, which is really doing a good job from 40 to 700. That's really unique. So you can talk to them. They have a newsletter. You can check it out. Other than that, see you all in the next episode.